Join us in this detailed tutorial from our expert trainer who walks you through each step. Let's get started.
If we open up this text file and just take a quick look at it, this is something again that you might get downloaded out of some kind of third-party system. And this is where we kind of have data, but it's not in a really great readable format. So I can see here that we have some column headings. We've got employee name, hire date, salary, department, job title. And these are separated by what we call a delimiter. And in this case, the delimiter is a semicolon. So a semicolon basically separates all of the fields throughout this data. So we're going to use that semicolon as our starting point to break up this data and bring it into Excel. So this is the data that we're going to use. Let's close down this file, because what we can do is we can directly import text files into Excel and then we can clean them up. So if we go up to File, all we need to do is go to Open, and then we just need to find our text file. So for me, if I go to the desktop, because this is where I have it stored. Now remember, if you're going from within Excel, Excel only shows by default files with a .xlsx extension. So what you might find you have to do is click on All Files to be able to see that text file just there. So I'm going to select the text file. Let's click on Open, and immediately Excel recognizes that this isn't an Excel file. It is a text file. So we need to tell Excel what to do with it. You can see here the text import wizard has opened. So the first thing it's asking us is the type of file that best describes this text file. And the top option is delimited. So it's saying, do we have characters such as commas or tabs separating each field? And we can see just below, we have a preview of our data. Now, if you remember, I said that we have delimiters, and the delimiter is the semicolon. That's what separates each of these fields. So we're going to keep it on delimited and click on Next. So now we need to tell Excel what delimiter is in use in our data set. So for us, that is a semicolon. Now I can choose that from here because we have it in our list. Now, as soon as I select semicolon, you can see that Excel knows where each of these columns breaks, because wherever we have a semicolon, that's where we have a new column. So this is looking pretty good. Let's click on Next. And I don't need to do anything here. I can click on Finish. And that is going to load that text file into Excel, and you can see it's broken it up into the correct columns. Now again, this is where data cleaning comes in. I can see straight away that I need to widen out these columns. So I'm going to select everything, double click to auto fit the contents. I can see in here, employee name, column A, I have people's names all in uppercase. Now, I actually don't want these names to display like that. I don't want it to say Juarez Jose. I want it to say Jose Juarez. And I also want it to be in proper case. So what I could do here is I'm going to insert another column, Control Shift plus. Now I could use text functions to do this, but that's going to take a lot of time. So instead, I'm going to do everything all in one go using Flash Fill. Now, when we're using Flash Fill, all we need to do here is tell Excel how we want the text to look. So I want it to look like this, Jose Juarez. So I'm switching those names around, and I'm also making them lowercase. Control Enter leaves us in the same cell. Control E invokes Flash Fill, and it copies that format down. Take a look at that. Such a magical little tool. Now, notice here it's also switched around the title, so we might just have to drag this across or retype it in. That's not too much of a problem, and then we can quickly delete out that first column. So much quicker. Now, there are two other ways that you can invoke Flash Fill, so let's take a look at both of those. I'm going to insert another column just here, Control Shift plus. And I want to make all of these lowercase. So again, I can use Flash Fill. I just need to tell it what the first one needs to look like. And then if I press Enter, as soon as I start to type the second one, can you see it ghosts down? So Flash Fill is recognizing the pattern that I want to apply. And now all I need to do is press Enter to accept that. So again, Flash Fill is amazing. And that's just two different ways that you can invoke it. Let's take a look at the final way. We're going to do the same thing, but this time with the job title, we're going to change these to lowercase, but we're going to use Flash Fill again. So we want intern in here, Control Enter, and we can go up to the data ribbon and we have the flash fill button just here. When we click it, it's going to copy that down. How simple is that? So it makes cleaning up your data a lot quicker and a lot easier. Flash fill is the magic little button. Once again, we can then go through tidying up what we need to tidy up. So I'm going to probably apply some currency formatting or counting formatting to this particular column. I've got date formatting on here. We are pretty much good to go. The final thing to do is just Control T to put this into a table. And this is ready for analysis. Lots of little techniques that are going to come in really useful the next time that you analyze your data. Let's use Power Query to combine some files and clean up that data. So let's take a look at the data first of all. Now I've got a folder here and it's called Sales Data. If I open up this folder, I have two files in here. Sales data for 2017 and sales data for 2018. Now, if I open up one of these files, you can see what we have in here. So we've got a date column, we've got an order ID column, we have a customer number column. This whole data set are basically trip sales for particular years, in this case 2017. So I can see the trip in here, I can see the salesperson, the trip price, and also the year. And the other file that I have in this folder is just the same file, it's just data for 2018. So maybe this is data for some kind of travel agency. And every year, a file for that year's sales gets dropped into this sales data folder. So what we want to make sure that we do is that when a new file gets added to this folder, all of the data and all of the analysis that we've done automatically updates. So we can do this by combining the files together and then making sure that we're linking to this particular folder. So that's quite complicated and quite a lot to get your head around. So let's take a look at it slowly. Now I'm going to close down this file and we're just going to start with a blank workbook. So what I'm going to do is we're going to jump up to the Data tab, and in the Get and Transform group, we're going to go to Get Data from File, and I'm going to say I want to get data from a folder because I want to include both of those files. The sales files for 2017 and 2018 are both in the sales data folder. So effectively what I'm doing here is I'm connecting to that particular folder. So let's say from folder. And now I need to select the folder. So I have mine stored on my desktop, and it's this one here, the sales data folder that contains those two sales data files. I'm just going to select the folder. Let's click on Open. And we're now creating a connection between Excel and that folder. You can see here, it's had a look in the folder and it can see Sales File 2017 and Sales File 2018. Those are the two files within that folder. So everything is looking good so far. Now at this stage, if we take a look at the bottom, we have a few different things we can do. We can choose to combine these files together. So if your files are exactly the same, and what I mean by that is they have the same structure, the same column headings, instead of having two separate files, you can simply have them all in one file that contains all of the data for 2017 and 2018. So you can do that, which is exactly what we're going to do. But if you wanted to, if you want to clean up your data, or at least check your data to see if it needs to be cleaned up, we have a Transform Data button at the bottom. So let's click on Transform Data. Now this opens up Power Query. And if you've never been into Power Query before, this can look a little bit intimidating. But basically what we do in Power Query is exactly what we've just done with our Excel files. This is where we can come to clean up our data. And everything that we did manually in Excel, we can find in this Power Query editor. So we can do things like remove blank rows. We can split columns by delimiter. We can do a find and replace. We can change the formatting of each of the columns. There's lots of things that we can do. So this is just a more graphical way of doing those things. Now, the first thing I want to do here is I want to take these two files, 2017 and 2018, and I want to combine them together. So I just have one big long file. Now, a quick way of doing that from here is to click these two downward arrows, which will combine both of these files into one file. And again, this can take a few seconds, but it's going to show you a preview of what this is going to look like. That looks pretty good to me. Let's click on OK. So it's going to open up the contents of both of those files and basically combine them together in one big long file. And we can check that because if we check the source name column at the top, you can see it includes data for 2017 and 2018. So that is perfect. So now I have this here, I can go through, I can look at my data in my columns, and I can see if I need to clean anything up in Power Query. Now I'm going to put this data into a pivot table. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to decide if I need all of these columns. But do I need the source name column? Well, no. This is a column which has basically been added in by Power Query, which just tells me what the file name is. And I'm not really going to need that in any analysis that I do of this data. So let's get rid of it. We can right click and we can choose remove. Nice and straightforward. We can then go through and check to make sure that the data type we've selected for each of these columns is correct. So I have dates in this first column, and if I click the little calendar, this is where we can change or choose what type of data we have in this particular column. And I will say that most of the time, Power Query tends to get this correct. So this is a date and it's selected the correct format. Order ID, well, what have we got there? Well, this has chosen a whole number. Yep, that's fine. Customer, this is text. Yes, because it starts with text, so it's going to think that it's text. Trip is text, salesperson, so on and so forth. So these number formats are worth checking and changing if they are incorrect. Now, a couple of things that we can do to tidy up this data a bit better. If we take a look at this trip column, we can see here that we have a trip code, then we have a dash, and then we have the actual trip name. So if I'm thinking about analyzing this data using a pivot table, I might want to do a summary of the trip prices by the trip code. Now, currently I couldn't do that because I have the trip code and the trip name combined into one column. So what I'd probably do here is separate the trip code, have that in its own separate column, and then have the trip name in a separate column. So I basically want to split up this column. Now, again, we could do this in Excel by using something like Flash Fill, or we could use text to columns or something like that. In Power Query, this is so simple. We just simply select the column that we want to split up, and then on the Transform tab in Split Column, we can say by delimiter. And then we can just choose where we want to split it. So where we have the dash is where I want to split. So we have a few different options in here. If you can't see what you want, you can go to custom, and it's remembered it from when I last typed it in. We have a dash in there, click on OK, and it's going to split those into two columns. We can then rename these column headings. So double click, and I can call this trip code and this one name. And because I've split this column at the dash, there was a space either side of that dash. So I'm pretty sure that the trip name is now going to have an erroneous space at the beginning. But not to worry, because we can apply that trim function to this column. Remember, we used that before in Excel. I can select the column and we go to Format, and we have trim in here. Also notice we have the clean function in here. If we wanted to change to uppercase, lowercase, or capitalize, remember, again, we did that using Excel functions. In Power Query, we can simply select. So I'm going to choose the trim function, and I'm going to apply a trim to both of these columns that I just tidied up to remove any erroneous spaces. So those are a couple of things that you can do in Power Query to clean your data. Pretty much everything that we do in Excel, we can do in here. And then once we're happy with how our data looks, we can go to the Home tab, close and load, and I can load it directly into a pivot table. So let's go to close and load, and I'm going to say, create me a pivot table report, click on OK. And it's going to bring all of that data in, and I can just choose my fields to analyze by. So maybe I want the trip name in the rows, the trip price down here. And there is my pivot table made up of 2017 and 2018 data. I have both in there. If I want to apply a filter by year, I can drag the year column up to filters, and then I can choose, if I'm just interested in 2017, I can choose that way. The final thing I want to show you is what happens when we want to add 2019's data to this pivot table. Now, because of the way that we've set this up, we created a connection between Excel and the folder. So what happens is when we add a new file to this folder, it's going to automatically refresh all of the pivot tables. So let's take a look at that. Maybe it's the end of the year, and I have a little file just here, and we have this file just here with our 2019 sales data. Now I'm going to copy this, Control C, and we're going to add it to the sales data folder. So there we go. There's the new data for the new year. I want this to be included in my analysis. So because we already have that connection there, I simply need to go back to the pivot table. All we need to do is click refresh. It will bring across that data. And you can see here, it has brought it across because we have 2019 listed in here. All right. So any tables or pivot charts that you have attached will automatically update just by clicking that refresh button. So that is an advantage of pulling your data into Power Query, cleaning it up in there, combining it, and creating that connection with a folder.
Don't let your momentum stop here. Check out our recommended playlist for more helpful videos to boost your skills. Visit the Simon Says It channel. Explore our videos and training sessions and decide what you want to learn next.